Hey, so my name is Brian Snyder. I'm an assistant professor here in the Department of Environmental Science at LSU. And I research energy and energy systems and how humans use energy and how that energy use impacts the environment. Energy is the primary kind of link between humans and the environment. I think it's at least the most important link, and it's not that there aren't other important links, but it's in my view the most important. So I think like a lot of our environmental problems are really sort of energy problems disguised as environmental problems. So climate change is obviously a big one, but a lot of our other problems like air pollution is in a lot of ways an energy problem. Some of our food problems or agricultural problems are energy problems as well. Even some of our biodiversity problems, so if they're not directly energy problems, at least they could be solved with more energy or at least a cleaner form of energy. What I do today is sort of two sides of energy use. On one side, I'm interested in the different systems that we use and how much they cost and sort of their life cycle impacts, that sort of thing. Things like carbon capture and storage and those sorts of models of the systems that we could build for removing carbon dioxide from the environment. But the other thing I'm interested in is sort of the theoretical side of how energy is used. Recently, I've been working on some work about how energy use evolved and sort of whether or not humans are evolved towards sustainability or towards maybe unsustainability. And one of the tools that I use for that is called agent-based modeling. So this is a real simple, it sounds sort of fancy, but it's really not. It's a program called NetLogo. You can create these models of a world. So this is a little world that we can create. There's a pretty simple code that tells the world what to do. And there's sort of two types of agents in that world. There's patches, and then there's something that they call turtles, but we're going to call them like human populations. And we can make rules for these human populations to live in and to kind of follow in this world that we've created. So you can see there's all this different green, and all that green means like there's different energy resources in these different patches. And then there's these different shades, I don't know if you can see this, but different shades of colors here for these different like human populations. There's little red patches and black patches. And those are just sort of different cultures, different societies. And those societies will follow rules. So we set that up and we click go. There we go. The human populations expand. Eventually they'll get to the point where they've used up all of the resources, all of the energy, and they'll start to collapse. But then as they do so, they go through this evolutionary process where you can see the different colors changing, right? So now there's only two colors. There's only this kind of maroon color and this gray color, whereas before we started with 100 different colors. And so there's a selection process is occurring. Now we're almost, now we're all gray, it looks like. So we've lost all the diversity in the world, and we just have this sort of one group. And what it's doing is it's using energy from these different patches, and as it does so, each little individual population will go extinct. But the patches regenerate, right? Because they're ecological patches, so just like a forest will regenerate over time. They'll regenerate, and so now what you can see is our human societies are sort of like swinging through the world, this world that we've made for them, in search of the places that just have a tiny little bit of energy that they can survive off of. And then they go extinct, and then they go to the next patch. And that is now occurring. This is generation 310 there of that. You also see over here, they're evolving in their technology, the technology they use to remove energy from the environment. And the efficiency by which they remove energy. So anyway, you can take all that and then run the model a couple thousand times and sort of get at least ideas about how these idealized populations behave. So that's what I've been doing recently. And it's sort of fun because you can just look at these little pictures and sort of watch them. And sometimes they enter into these really weird patterns. I haven't figured out exactly why. So that's sort of my theoretical research, at least, in a nutshell.